you spot an extrovert
Well,
easily?
I think spotting an extrovert easily is not that hard.
Because the extrovert will find you before you find the extrovert.
Welcome to React, where we unpack Reddit stories from youth for youth. We are your hosts, I'm Delvin.
And I'm Sofia.
Ever had troubles befriending an introvert? In today's video, we'll be discussing points on what to take note of when striking a friendship with an introvert.
Before we start, we would sincerely appreciate it if you could support us by hitting the subscribe button and notification bell. Your affirmation will go a long way in helping us produce more discussions like these for our community. Okay, so Delvin, today's episode, the summary is really quite interesting. It kind of hits home to me. So here's how it goes. So OP over here, he met this girl A, through their CCA, and OP thinks she's cute.
Okay.
So girl A is an introvert who enthusiastically participates in welfare services events. She also happens to have a 4.0 GPA.
You said you relate?
Yeah, okay, not this part, okay. We don't talk about that. Okay, while OP and A have made small talk on multiple occasions, OP still senses that this girl A doesn't feel completely comfortable around him. So OP also has made plenty of effort to find a breakthrough in their relationship, as he genuinely wants to a meaningful friendship with this person A. However, he really remains unsure as to how he should make A feel more at ease around him.
Right.
So, what do you think?
I mean, I guess I can empathize with OP in the sense of them unsure of what A really wants or how A really is in that sense. But I mean, it's pretty clear that A is an introvert to be.
Yeah, for him to even take this to an online forum.
Right, like if it really concerned you that much, you're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do to talk to this girl. It's either A, brother has no game, or B, girl is really like introverted like to the point where he cannot really talk to her.
Can we really blame her? Okay, maybe before we start, let's go like, what are you more of? An extrovert or introvert?
What do you think, Sofia? Do I look like an introvert?
God. Okay, Mr. Extrovert. Okay, what about me?
Damn. Actually, that's a really good question.
Damn, that's so sad.
Because I feel like
That's the first time we thought.
if I talk to you like how I'm talking to you now, you seem like an extrovert. But I don't really know how you are like on the outside world.
I'm wearing a mask.
No, but what are you
knows
really?
my story. No, I'm more of an introvert actually. So I totally understand her side of things. So because remember the previous episode where I like experienced with boys and like crushes who has never had a relationship in the first place.
End of flashback.
Yeah, so that kind of ties with my personality lah. I obviously have no experience partly because I'm introvert. Yeah. So I guess I empathize with OP and the girl A in a sense, you know? It is kind of difficult to approach introverts. So definitely quite a bit of talking points today.
Right, I mean it all depends on like how A really is as an introvert. It's because at least in my own personal opinion, there are like different types of introverts. Like, okay, let's say for yourself, Sophia, how do you define yourself as an introvert?
Okay, I would say that I'm more of like a social introvert. But actually, like, I guess it goes with everyone. Let me explain.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm going to hear you out.
Like it goes for everyone lah. You know, it's not just one dimension, right? We are multifaceted people, right?
Wow.
So like,
profound of you.
Yeah. So I'm sure you are also like can be social, can be like at times you're more of like a thinking sort of person, right?
Sure. Yes, I think a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm more of those two combined. So I'm social around a small group of my friends, and I think a lot by myself if I'm like, you know, kind of overwhelmed by like too many extroverts around me or that sort of like too overwhelming energy around me.
Right. I get what you mean. I mean, I can totally relate with you on the part of overthinking a lot or being overwhelmed. Like even as an extroverted person, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah. So I don't think it's purely an introverted thing, but this is sort of like how they categorize like the flavors of introverts, right?
So then how do you think, like, for example, in our OP's case, if we could help him in the future or even with this girl, how do you think we can recognize introverts? Because this girl, for all we may know, might not be an introvert, might just not be interested in him.
So I think it's hard lah to diagnose introverts, but simply put, like in layman terms lah, I guess you can sort of sense from their vibe, right? That they are more comfortable around themselves, like focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas, maybe more of like in touch with their feelings and emotions, that kind lah. And maybe they're more of like reflective and self-aware. Yeah. So also maybe they need their time to be away from big groups.
To properly adapt, is that the right word?
Properly maybe
settle down.
Settle. And maybe how that would contrast from an extrovert. So you can tell us, how do you spot an extrovert easily?
I think spotting an extrovert easily is not that hard.
Because the extrovert will find you before you find the extrovert.
Do you have an introverted friend? Or perhaps you're an introvert yourself? Tell us what you think turns on or turns off an introvert in the comments down below. No, but like for real, like extroverted people live off their own energy. Like you know how people say,
I thought they go seeking for other people's energy.
No, they live off their own energy. Like it's crazy
that
because
sounds tiring to me.
Right. Honestly, like okay, but I say this because it's my own personal opinion. I assume other people like feel differently. For me personally, if I'm like have some little bit of energy in me, right, I am like on cloud 9 the entire day. I just go around like shouting at people.
Okay, maybe on to OP again. Like maybe we debunk some types of common misconception or myths about introverts that even maybe OP has over here.
Right.
So maybe that, I think some that I know of could be like introverts not liking people. So I've heard a lot about how people associate the words antisocial or like hermit maybe to like introverts, right? Antisocial is actually quite a different thing, you know?
I think it's completely different actually.
Yeah. So I think people also, how to say, associate introverts with, wait, help me out
She's
here.
thinking.
Help me out here.
Let her think. Give her the time.
Yeah, introverts having like social anxiety.
I think that's what it really defines it as, right? Introverts are people. Not to diagnose them, as I said earlier, are people with that,
Yes, there are people.
that range of social anxiety, and it differs from person to person. Like person A might have 5% of that.
That's true. It's like a sort of like scale. Yeah.
So moving on, Sophia, how do you think we can actually make friends with introverts?
How do you think we can make friends? Okay.
Like for me, I think the most obvious option out there is to try to connect with each other online. Because if they aren't so like open to being social in person, they might be online. Because
That's
you know
true.
they get to, I don't want to say it
Like-
this way, but like hide behind a computer.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And okay, this is not saying they're all chronically online people lah. Okay.
Speak for yourself,
Eh,
not the rest.
You caught me there. Okay. So another one maybe I really agree with yours. Yeah. And although I don't personally find people online, but maybe the rest agree. Tell us in the comments. Okay, but for me maybe another advice I'll give is like maybe you can just be more talkative, but also how to say, not talkative to a point of in your face talkative. Like if I don't get an answer, I'm just gonna continue talking. Or if like I hear like a second of silence, I'm gonna continue talking. I feel like that's gonna be very overwhelming. You know?
I think like I agree with the point you're trying to make in being talkative. For me, how I interpret that is asking more questions. Like be a more inquisitive person.
Inquisitive.
Is that correct?
Mm.
Be a person who asks more questions.
Yeah,
is what I mean.
observant.
No.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Half.
You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we
You
get
what
it.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, most obvious one would just be basic communication skills, as well as expressing yourself. Yeah. So, for example, the more introverted person, girl A.
Yeah.
If she is ever like talking to you about something she likes, just be very genuine and like don't fake your emotions lah around the introvert. Someone they'll feel like, am I imposing on you? Or am I like, you know,
I mean, I totally agree with what you say. To the OP, if girl A has even the slightest bit of interest in you, I'm pretty sure she would spark not in-depth conversation, being an intro, but at least some form of hi-bye conversations. If that
Are you
doesn't
saying
happen,
that everyone who goes
no, the thing
who passes
is,
by
like,
you every day?
Even okay, let me put it in this way lah. Even if you like have the slightest connotation to want to like befriend somebody, you would make the move to go and talk to them, right?
Yeah, I
You
get
wouldn't
what you mean.
completely ignore them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, even if like girl A wants to be your friend OP, they would talk to you. They wouldn't just completely ignore you, even if they were an introvert. So if that doesn't happen, then girl A is just not interested in you. But move on. We've all been there.
also
Just
like-
carry on.
I like to say, right, to OP that instead of moving on, right, my advice would be to push harder, right? Because, right,
You know, I love
Because-
the optimist in you.
yeah, okay, so it's coming out, guys. So I think it's because, right, maybe it's a different topic, like maybe it's a reach, but it could be due to her 5 love languages. Okay, this is not
Wow,
love.
she
This is
just
not love,
went-
like.
Woo! But you know what? Let's go there. I want to go there.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, obviously you're not gonna like tie your everyday conversations to love languages, but could be, you know, she doesn't respond the same way to your indication of interest because maybe she prefers it in another form, another way. Like for example, acts of service. You could like, you know, help her like with her homework or something like that. That could speak to her a lot more. you
Rather
know?
than just trying to spark conversations. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
makes sense. Think about it. Yeah. It got me thinking about it. Yes.
You got him thinking twice today, guys. That's all for today's discussion.
If you like what you've watched and wish to see more of such content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Be sure to catch us again next time on the Redefined channel. Bye!